welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get into the weekly reading for the sign of Libra. We're going to do week March 22nd to the 29th. And before I start the video, I've been starting all of the videos with the same opener. It's just I hope everyone's staying safe out there. I hope everyone is staying as healthy as they possibly can be. And I hope people are being kind to each other right now. I have people from all over the world who watch my channel. And I just wanted to send that out there. Peace and blessings to everyone at this really difficult time for everyone in the world, really. So, oh yeah, and before I get into it, let me remind you I'm giving away the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck on my channel. So if you're interested, you have to be subscribed on my channel and you have to leave me a comment. Just one comment to let me know that you're interested. And I only ask for that because I don't want to give the deck away to somebody who's not even interested in actually working with tarot. They may like to watch videos, you know, or watch tarot readings, but maybe you're not interested in the cards yourselves, right? Or working with them. Then I don't want to send it to someone like that. So just let me know that you're interested. And we're going to get right into it. This is going to be for Libra. Let me pull out your romance angel messages for the week. And we have forgiving and learning. Okay, it's nice. Nice energy, healing energy. Keep an open mind. All right. And we have romantic feelings. Beautiful. So nice messages, really. Let's get into your animal spirits. Now, these are the animal spirit. This is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck that I'm giving away. If you're new to my channel, this is the deck that I use each and every week. And I love this deck. This is why I'm giving it away. It's a really excellent deck. It's a deck you can work with for many, many years, whether you're a beginner or whether you've been reading tarot yourself for a long time. This is an excellent deck to get. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Straight out, we have the butterfly. Transformation and friendship. Nice for that to come out over forgiving and learning. We have the vulture. This is a regular one for my channel. He has become quite a regular spirit animal. It's a good one. Frog. Also a regular spirit animal, right? We have air, and water. So, let me put this over here. Have these ones ready for your traditional. Before we get into it, let's check it out. So the butterfly is air energy. Butterfly is associated, of course, with transformation, right? And it's the transformation of the mental. This is one of the reasons why the caterpillar turns into the butterfly, right? Because the caterpillar is an earthy creature. And then all of a sudden it transcends up to air because that's how the elements go up, right? And so some people, depending on if you're, whatever your theology, but it's earth, air, water, and then fire, right? So, and some people think it's earth, water, air, and then fire. So in any case, here we're talking about transcending into air quality. So you're transcending your mental. You're becoming sort of much more transformed right now. This is the spirit of the butterfly. And this is the thing that we associate with the butterfly when we're talking about most cultures. You know, the butterfly is one of those archetypal symbols, right? Everywhere the butterfly really means the same thing. It's that transformation, of course, that coming into a stage of mentality, right? Heightened mentality, transcended mentality, and, you know, and opening up your mind, right? So right now, some of you Librans, and you being in an air sign, you are really sort of coming into an age where you are changing your outlook, right? Your outlook is changing. You're opening up to maybe perhaps new ideas, right? And you're opening up to things that are uplifting as well, because part of the effect of the transformation from the butterfly is that you have expanse now, right? Now you're free to move around so much more. You know, the caterpillar had a very small sort of environment, right? And so now as a butterfly, you have this huge expanse. And so it's the same sort of symbolism there in terms of how you look at the world, right? So this could be, you know, this is interesting that this will come in for you, Libra, because at a time like this, when everyone is going through a lot of different changes, The butterfly also talks about this change not being easy, right? So it's difficult. You may be going through this, but it's not going to, sometimes people assume that this transformation is an easy sort of like, whoop, and up you go, but it's not. It's a transformation that kind of comes through difficult times. It can come through hardship. It can come through all kinds of different things. There's something that comes into your life that sparks this transformation, and that's not easy. So the butterfly is also the animal spirit for friendship. And so here we talk about relying on your friends. If you have good friends that you trust, that a lot of times I say if you can count your good friends on one hand, you'll be lucky. True friends, people who really stick by you. Rely on them at a time like this. If you need to talk to them, if you need to share ideas with them or feelings or what have you, and communicate with them, because what you're going through right now is going to be, it's going to be, of course, wonderful for you ultimately when you get there, but it will not be without its difficulties. Now, the vulture is an interesting animal spirit to come in, also more air energy. And the vulture is really a much maligned sort of creature, right? Nobody likes to see, it's like, ugh. They're not particularly pretty, right, or attractive birds, right? They come along and they eat the carrion, they eat the things that are dead, right? They clean up, right? They clean up the mess. But the vulture is a really strong animal spirit for handling situations that nobody else wants to handle, right? So cleaning up the mess, right, that nobody else wants to touch because they don't have the mental fortitude, right? This is an air energy card. So we're talking about having that mental fortitude to be able to get in the dirt and deal with it and clean it up, right? And fix it. Without the vulture, our ecosystem will break down. So this is also, an animal spirit that is necessary for our growth. And the vulture brings that, It's also an animal spirit that talks about, just as the vulture is quite undervalued in society, this animal spirit comes in for perhaps people or communities that are undervalued, right? Realizing that, seeing that, working with that in some way, right? Experiences that are coming into your life that may be difficult experiences, but they are being undervalued because they're difficult, or maybe you resent going through them or something like that. And so to a certain degree, you're undervaluing the quality of that experience because you have so much more to learn from that. So the vulture also brings with it a little bit of that warning to not look away so quickly from some experiences that you'd rather not be present in, right? They may be, they're difficult, or you may be feeling to yourself like, well, what could I possibly be learning from this? But there is always a value to every experience. And in any case, the vulture does talk about, to a certain degree, that cleansing energy, right? But it's difficult because, again, he does the dirty work. So you're doing cleansing, but you're dealing with a lot of dirty work while you're doing it. And again, that takes a lot of mental fortitude. And it takes a lot of balance, too. And so for you, Libra, that's a pretty good, strong animal spirit to come in. Now we have the frog, and I love the frog. The frog is another beautiful animal spirit. And the frog really talks about cleansing. This is, of course, a water animal spirit. And I love the frog because he reminds me of the beaver in that way that he's not a fish. He's not actually a water animal. He is, in fact, an earth animal, but he's associated with water anyway. And he's one of these really special animal spirits that can, that kind of stands between two sort of elements in a way and brings the best of both of them to the energy. The frog is able to bring the cleansing waters to a situation, right? So the spirit of the frog is there when you're cleansing, when you're unburdening yourself, when you have somebody coming into your life that is helping you to cleanse, right? Some people who resonate with the frog are healers, right? And if you are like a healer and you work in a field where you're helping people to cleanse, and I consider that to be people who are counselors, people who are therapists, people who are nurses, anyone who has, people who are caregivers, right? Anyone who spends who has the type of job that is a job where you are giving your energy to help somebody else, you are in effect cleansing them, right? So I think that healers in general, or the energy of healing, right, is in a lot more people than just so-called healers. You know what I mean? There's a lot of healers in our society, and so the spirit of the frog comes in when you're tired, right? When you've been tired. And I'm putting this in terms of, like, real day, sort of real everyday. I want to say metaphors and examples, right? Because sometimes we do the animal spirits, and we do the tarot, and we talk in all these kind of metaphysical sort of terms and stuff, and it's like, well, how does that mean? What does that mean for me here, And so the frog is, for instance, if you are a caregiver, right, and you're being asked to work a lot right now, right? Some of you may be resonating with the spirit of the frog, because one of the things that happens with the frog also is that it gets very tired out. It brings the rain, but it can get tired, it can get drained, it can get dried out when it is when the energy is being given to somebody else, right? When you are a healer, when you're resonating with this cleansing energy, you're not only just always cleansing yourself, sometimes you're cleansing other people. And then if the nature of your job is to help people, that's a cleansing sort of activity, that's a healing activity. Even if it's just a 9-to-5 job, right? Or even if it's a shift job. So this is how spirit animals can come into your life to help you understand how you may be feeling, right? And for some of you, if you're resonating with that, that means that you need to take some time out for yourself. Allow yourself to rejuvenate. Don't allow yourself to get too dried out, because the frog can get very, very dried out. You know what I mean? And it just came to me that I should put that message in those terms, because I feel like there may be some of you out there who are in that position. And I wanted you to understand how the frog may be very much resonating with you, whether you realize it or not. All right, guys, I am going to pull out your spreads for the week. And see where you guys are at. This is going to be 3 outlooks, and they are intended to be separate from each other, Libra. So, you're not going to resonate with everything. If you do resonate even with one reading, that's going to be great, but you may not resonate at all, and that's fine also. Let's see what we got. We got the Chariot. I'm going to have to move this up. Hang on. Move my angel back. All right, we have the Chariot, we have the 6 of Cups, and the Lover's card. Wow, this is nice energy. Well, some of you are coming into the week and you're moving towards your lover, right? You are physically moving. Some of you may be changing your residence this week, Libra. Some of you may actually be traveling. You may be moving in with someone, or you guys may be moving away to some place, right? You may be moving towards your lover. It feels like you, Libra, are this week coming in, resonating with this Chariot. You're either planning, or you are already in the midst of it, moving in some way to get close to your love connection, right? Here's your 6 of Cups. This is someone you have loved maybe for a very long time. Almost feels to me like it could even be a friend, right? This feels like a special, like, kind of message for someone out there who is right now probably, to me, I'm going to say maybe there is some crisis happening perhaps right now, or maybe there is some action happening right now that is causing you to have this motion, Libra. Because Chariot can sometimes, it's quite a strong motion card. It isn't always necessarily engaged, and so it could be like raring to go, so the energy behind it is quite quick, right? Once it engages, it's off, And sometimes the Chariot can also just mean planning towards moving towards someone, right? Planning on whatever the next path is. So you could be in either or stages, right? But whatever it is, you come into the week and you meet up with the 6 of Cups. So it feels like you're going towards your love connection, right? But it starts off as friends. And so this is what it makes me feel like maybe you guys are getting together to help each other out, right? Because right now, let's face it, everyone is going through something, right? Everyone is thinking someone, this is the first time we've had a situation like this in modern day history. So everyone's kind of not going to be able to go along at their normal day. And so this one does feel a little bit like you're coming in maybe even to save the day, or you guys are coming together. because the action is certainly on you, Libra, moving in. And the friendship here is certainly there, but you round off with a lover's connection. So it's quite interesting. Feels to me like you're coming to the rescue of a friend, or you're coming in to help a friend, right? Because we also have these beautiful animal spirits, right? Butterfly, vulture, these are strong animal spirits. These are strong air animal spirits. So they also indicate a lot of movement. And they can indicate, yes, something like that. Certainly the vulture, if we're talking about cleaning up, you know, you're doing the dirty work and cleaning up the mess. You could be going in to help a friend, right? You may be knowing this person for quite some time. That's what it kind of feels like. You may be coming in to help them in some kind of way for you guys to work together. But what ends up happening is you end up having these romantic feelings because you round off with the lovers. You end up getting even closer than you were here with Six of Cups. Because Six of Cups is a soulmate card, but not all soulmates are lovers. You know, soulmates are just old souls who have known each other. And a lot of times this can also just be a simple friendship, you know, because that's what the two children there really indicate. They indicate a relationship that has really known itself, since has been together, where you have known each other for a long time, since you were children. Right? You've known each in a sense, right? Or since your souls were children. And so this is what makes this kind of soulmate card. It's also the 6, which is the number for harmony. So this can be any kind of relationship that you feel just really pleasant and harmonious about, where you feel like your souls are connected, like you've probably known each other for quite some time. But it's not always a romantic sexual connection. Yet for you, by the end of the week, it absolutely becomes that. 4 of Cups, the World, and the 2 of Pentacles. Well, I did say this in the other readings. I was not surprised to see the 2 of Pentacles come out, I think, for Aries right away when I started the weeklies, and I'm on Libra now. I think it's shown up for at least 3 other readings. I'm not surprised because, of course, the 2 of Pentacles is absolute up and down, financial up and down chaos. But we'll get to that. 4 of Cups is how you start off, Libra. And so in the beginning of the week, you're really feeling like you're not wanting to take somebody's cup of love. Somebody may be reaching out to you, but you're just not there for it. You know, you just don't want it. It's either somebody's trying to reach out to help you and you don't trust their help, or you just don't want their help. Maybe you just feel like you want to do something on your own. There's something that you're wanting to accomplish on your own. Sometimes 4 of Cups can also be like an ex-lover trying to come back and make amends. You know, someone coming in to apologize or to say, look, you know, who wants to reconcile with you, but the attitude you have is that you're not there for it. You don't want to do it. And you know, I think to a certain degree that 4 of Cups, it's meant to be sort of like, well, I'm okay maintaining my own stability, right? I'm not sure if this cup is going to destabilize me or what, you know, like what am I supposed to expect from it? You're just very hesitant about it. And sometimes that can be a good thing, and sometimes it can be, you know, to despite your face, right? So it really depends on your situation, Libra. If someone is offering genuine help and you need it, right now, you can, you know, don't be too afraid to ask for it. Again, when I said earlier with Spirit of the Butterfly coming in, it feels a little bit like, you know, it could be a friend who's coming in who's genuinely caring for you, wanting to help you. And so just be careful that you are not sort of saying, no, no, no. You have forgiving and learning. And it could be that maybe you guys fell out. You know, maybe you guys were not sort of in a good place for a little while. Maybe this is like a friendship, you know, or even an ex-lover, like I said. But it could also be a friendship. It could be anyone, you know, relative, whoever, someone you had a relationship, some kind of relationship with. It could be that you guys had a falling out, but right now you really need each other. Right now you really need help, or they really want to help you. In either case, they want to reach out to you. Even if it's not a help for you, it could just be that they're wanting to reach out. Because handing the cup is also symbolic of sort of handing the olive branch, but here we're talking about a cup of love, right? So it's like they're opening up to you, and so you really got to think for yourself if you're really determined to stay on this path to say no, right? So this is the energy that you're coming in with this week. And you come up against the World card, and this is interesting because the World card really gives a feeling of things being quite fated and destined. And so certain events this week are going to make you feel like, maybe I need to reconsider or whatever, because like there's a lot of like, these could be sort of like happy happy sort of coincidences when you run into somebody and you were thinking about them, or you run into something else that impacts your life in some other way, and it's like the most perfect time to run into that person, or the most perfect time to have that event. When you have a string of those type of things happening, that's when it feels like destiny or fate sort of has its eye on you, because it's like, it's kind of guiding you down and helping you out with all the stuff that you need, right? And so that's the feeling of the world. That's the feeling you get when you're dancing on top of the world. It's like you have conquered the world. You've mastered the world. Everything just seems to keep working out for you, whichever way they need to, right? Whether it be by coincidence or intention. And so that's a good feeling. However, by the end of the week, Two of Pentacles, you're still kind of up and down about finances. And this is what makes me feel like maybe here this is somebody who wants to help you financially. And you may be feeling a little bit, like you're not sure about if you want to take that help, because it's a cup of love. It is being handed to you out of love. It could be a family member or a friend. But you do round off with all of this Two of Pentacles, which is up and down financial chaos, anxiety. It's just like changing, right? Everything is changing. Two of Pentacles is like one of the strongest cards in the tarot for change, financial change, in terms of, your financial stability, right? Where you live, environment, your job, your money, even your health, because Pentacles can indicate health too. It's just unsurety about the material world that we live in on a very chaotic scale, because you can see the waves, they're very chaotic in the background. So it's like, it's an event that really causes a lot of emotional chaos as well, because you just aren't sure where your balls are going to land, right? You're just juggling everything. So it's a strong card. And again, I would ask you to think ahead. If somebody is trying to be your friend and help you, think twice about saying no to that. King of Pentacles, Judgment, and Eight of Pentacles. More Pentacles energy for you, Libra. This is the last spread. So some of you are coming into this week and you are in a position of the King of Pentacles. This is the energy you're resonating with. And so you're coming in and you've already achieved a certain amount of success financially. King of Pentacles is a really sort of strong financial authoritative position to be in. So some of you are resonating with this coming in. You may be a business owner. You may be a boss, you may be a manager, you may be just someone who does your own sort of thing, right? You may be an artist, but you're at a level where you certainly are clearly a success, right? You clearly have certain successes under your belt. You clearly have access to financial abundance and stability on a very sort of consistent and grounded and stable way. The King of Pentacles is very stable. This can also be someone sometimes who's a doctor as well, because Pentacles is also to do with health, right? So King of Pentacles can also be someone who's a doctor who has their own practice, right? Someone who's like, a master healer or something like that can also be associated actually with the King of Pentacles. But this would be someone who does it in like a real term, like with the body, with a surgeon, right? A doctor, a dentist, a therapist, something like that. They can also be associated with King of Pentacles. A physical therapist rather, right? Because that is the body, the physical body is also associated with that. So in any case, you're coming in strong, and it could be that somebody's asking you for help. Somebody may be asking you for you to mentor them, or you to invest in them, to be their benefactor, because a lot of times the King of Pentacles is there to help others, right? So he's going to give his wisdom. He's also at that level, at his career or at his path, right, in life, manifesting his dreams in reality, that he's also able to help others, right? He's able to impart a certain amount of knowledge. And so sometimes he can be the investor and the benefactor as well. And so somebody may be asking you for that also. By the time you come into the week, though, here we have another card to do with forgiving and learning. You come into an energy of judgment. And it could be that you're coming up against a certain situation that's really making you feel like you're having to change your view on something, right? Your position or your view. This is a quite interesting spread for this time right now also, because Judgment talks about reconciliation. It talks about changing your worldview, right? It's this feeling of when you've had enough experience in your life that your worldview begins to shift and change, and you begin to be less hypercritical. You begin to have less criticism of certain people, situations, ideas, etc., whatever that belief was you had, but you have less criticism for the things you've been critical of, right? Because you've begun to have experiences that show you different sides, right? And so that's specifically the energy behind judgment. And this is when we begin to sort of forgive ourselves, forgive other people, and compassion comes in, right? But this is a whole sort of understanding that happens through experience, right? This is judgment, major arcana. So we're talking about something that is a life experience here, and it's quite profound for you. And I think that it just really changes your position this week. By the end of the week, you're rounding off with Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is having to work really hard now at something to get it perfect. It almost feels to me like this is a reading for a Libra, right? Who's been at the top of their field or career or business, what have you, for a long time. And now you're having this week, you're going to be having some experiences, maybe even some epiphanies, that are going to open your eyes to certain areas, either of your business or the way you've been conducting business or what you've been sort of focusing your ideas on. You're going to change that on a fundamental scale, I think, right? Something's going to happen with this Judgment card that's really going to make you see it from a totally different perspective. And by the end of the week, it almost feels like you're going to be working sort of, like if you haven't worked at things physically or really if you haven't gone to the drawing board in a long time because maybe you've been at this level for so long, it's almost like this whole experience is going to send you right back to the drawing board, right? For a king to come down to not down, but to an Eight of Pentacles, because Eight of Pentacles implies like daily effort, right, at something, right? So, but King of Pentacles is certainly someone who's already reached a level in their life where they probably have a lot of people working for them, right? They've put the effort in, but they've reached the King of Pentacles status. So going to an Eight of Pentacles where you feel that passionately about something, it's going to be because you have this judgment experience, because you have this huge kind of shift in your understanding about something, right? And now it's like you want to change how you're doing it or something, and maybe you're the only one who can change it, so you have to go back to the drawing board, maybe you have to change it, It's like if you own a company and suddenly you decide you want to completely change the way you run that company, that's something you would actually have to now sit up, all hours of the night drafting out, right? That's what I'm talking about. You may not have sat and drafted paperwork for a very long time because you've just kind of signed paperwork, maybe if you're running a company. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Or say, for instance, you started some kind of, if you're an artist and say you're a woodworker, you started a woodworking company, right? And you've ran it a certain way, and suddenly you decide to completely change the way you want to do your woodworking company, right? It's like, and then you go back to, your tool shed, right? Or you go back to your sort of work shed, right? Where you made your first furniture, and you go right all the way back to sort of the redesigning how you make your furniture. This is what I'm talking about. It's that kind of a shift because it's such a major sort of jump. King of Pentacles to Eight of Pentacles, right? So, and that necessitates almost like an epiphany. Some of you will be absolutely having an epiphany. And again, this is the spirit of the butterfly coming in. It won't be easy, but this is very much an interesting time for you Libras. I'm going to say that, very, very interesting time for you Libras. All three readings were really quite interesting, and I do hope it resonates. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. This is your March 22nd to the 29th weekly general outlook. Your love general outlook will be out this weekend. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to let me know If the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Deck is something you're interested in, you have to be subscribed to my channel. Please remember that if you don't publicize or if you don't make your subscription page public on your YouTube homepage, nobody can tell who you're subscribed to, including me. I don't know if you're subscribed to me or not because you won't show up on my subscriber list. So you do have to make, your subscriptions public in order for me to see that. And I just wanted to let you guys all know that. In any case, please, Libra, have a wonderful week. Like I said at the beginning, be safe, be healthy, be kind to each other at a time like this. Be careful. Also, be very careful. And have a wonderful week, Libra. And I will see you next week for your weekly general outlook. Bye-bye now.